Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to review how to interpret dot plots. So in this dot plot, the students in a class collected data on the number of minutes some of them spend brushing their teeth every day. The data is shown in the dot plot below. So on our number line, we have the numbers are going by halves, and the numbers represent the time spent brushing their teeth in minutes. And then each dot represents a person who they asked this question to, and the dot goes at whatever amount of minutes they said they spent brushing their teeth. So the first question asks how many students were surveyed. So to answer this, I would need to count all of the dots in the dot plot because each dot represents one person who was surveyed. So I'm going to go through and count up all of my dots. So I'm just going to go from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dots total. So that means 8 students were surveyed. So that's how we get the total number of students. Just count up all of the dots. The next question asks, what was the median number of minutes that students brushed their teeth? I'm actually going to cross out my little marks because I'm going to do something similar now to find the median. So to find the median means I'm trying to find where the middle dot is. Okay, so the median means I'm trying to find the middle dot in the dot plot. So to find the middle dot, I'm going to need to start on the outside dots and work my way in to find which dot is in the very middle. So what we'll do is we'll cross out one dot on the far left and one dot on the far right, and then we'll work our way in until we find the middle dot. So I'll cross out the dot on the farthest to the left and the dot farthest to the right. So I'm going to just keep working my way in to find the middle dot. So then I'm going to cross out the next dot on the left, and then the next dot on the right. I'm just going to start at the bottom of this column of dots, and I'll keep working my way up the column. So then the next dot on the left is at 3.5, and my next dot on the right is at 4. So I've crossed out 3 on the left and 3 on the right. Now I'm actually left with 2 dots in the middle. Sometimes you're left with 1 dot. If you're left with 1 dot in the middle, then whatever number that dot is at is your median. In this case, we have 1 dot at 3.5 and 1 dot at 4. So that means we need to find the number that is in between 3.5 and 4. So that will be our median. So if you get 2 dots that are at different numbers, you have to find what number is in the middle of 3.5 and 4. So if you aren't sure off the top of your head what number is between 3.5 and 4, you can go ahead and add 3.5 plus 4 and then divide by 2. And that will tell you the number that's in between. So 3.5 plus 4 and then divide it by 2, we get 3.75. So 3.75 is the number in between the 2 middle dots. So our median is 3.75 minutes. So again, if you get 1 dot as your middle dot, that's great. Whatever number it's at is your median. If you get 2 dots that are on the same number, that's also great. You don't have to do any math. If you get 2 dots in the middle, but they're at the same number, that's your median. In this case, we have 2 dots that are at different numbers, which is kind of the most tricky scenario. So we have to add up the 2 numbers that they're at, divide by 2. That tells us the number right in the middle, okay? Next, we're asked what was the range of brushing teeth times. So the range, we always can find the range by taking the largest number where we have a dot and subtracting the smallest number where we have a dot. So the range is like we're trying to find the range of minutes that we see dots at in this dot plot, where the range of minutes where the data falls. So I'm going to start with the farthest right number where I see a dot, which is 4.5. And then I'm going to subtract the farthest left, the smallest number where I see a dot, which is 1. So the biggest number where I have a data point minus the smallest number where I have a data point. So I'm going to do 4.5 minus 1. And if you need a calculator, you can. 4.5 minus 1 gives us 3.5. So that means the range of brushing teeth times is 3.5 minutes. So the data falls in a 3.5 minute range of values. The next question asks how many students brush their teeth for more than 3 minutes. So if I want to know how many students brush their teeth for more than 3 minutes, I'm going to count all of the dots to the right of 3. I'm actually just going to erase this again. So how many students brush their teeth for more than 3? So I'm not going to count anybody at 3, which I don't have any dots at 3 anyway. So more than 3, that means all of the dots to the right of 3. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 students brush their teeth for more than 3 minutes. The next question says how many students brush their teeth for 4 minutes. So for exactly 4 minutes, that means I just need to count the number of dots at 4, and I see there are 3 dots at 4. So 3 students brush their teeth for 4 minutes. So we're talking about just students who brush for exactly 4 minutes. The next one says, what is the most common amount of time spent brushing their teeth? Oh, what is the most common amount of time someone spent brushing their teeth? So for the most common, I'm going to be looking for which number has the most dots. So which one has the tallest column of dots? Well, I can see that 4 has the most dots. It's the only one that has 3 dots, and none of them have more than 3 dots. So that means 4 is the most common amount of time. So 4 minutes was the most common amount of time. This is actually called the mode. When we talk about the most common, we'll talk about that more later, but the mode is when we're talking about where we see the most of the data. What was the longest time someone spent brushing their teeth? So the longest time someone spent brushing their teeth is going to be the biggest number where I have a data point, the biggest number where I have a dot. So the farthest to the right where I see a dot is 4.5. So 4.5 minutes is the longest time that somebody spent brushing their teeth. So it's the farthest to the right. And then the shortest time that someone spent brushing their teeth, I'm going to be looking for the smallest number that has a dot, so the farthest to the left that has a dot, and I see that that's 1. So it's not 0. Some people will say 0.5 because it's the farthest left number they see, but there's not a dot at 0.5. I'm looking for the smallest number that has a data point. The smallest number that has a dot is 1. So 1 minute is the shortest time that somebody spent brushing their teeth. Okay. Those are all of the different types of questions you might encounter when you're interpreting dot plots. So hopefully this helps.